Diablo's Workshop. How's everybody doing? It's been a while since my last video. That video I had the final on the Drag Nova, which I was pretty happy with the way that came out, if you remember that. What have I been doing? Well, trying to enjoy my summer. It's been hot and humid, way too humid, so it hasn't been that fun, I guess. But I've gone to a few car shows, few concerts, got to see Ace Frehley live, former guitarist for Kiss. Gotta tell you, he still got it. He still play like he could back in the day, and it was definitely a good time. So if you have a chance to go see him, definitely go see him. It's well worth it. Yeah, so back to the model building world, huh? So if you guys remember, I was working on the C1 models, Fujimi and the Fujimi Porsche Cayman, and I'm still working on it. I think I kind of jinxed myself. I thought it was going to be an easier build than it was, and I guess I let my guard down a little, and it kind of bit me right in the butt. So we'll go into that in a little bit, but yeah, so I'm on track to get that done for, well, either of two shows. I'm actually building it for the Diversified Scaler show, and their show, they're an up-and-coming club who they've been putting on their show for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, maybe even longer than that, but I've been going to their show for about 5 years. They were in a smaller venue. They moved into the venue where the NNL East is, using one of the front rooms, if you're familiar with that, the bingo room. And they've been getting bigger every year, and it's definitely a good show. And my club, Tri-State Model Car Club, we help them out as much as we can, whatever they need. And you know, it's just a really good group of guys, one, and two, the show, there's always a lot of good eye candy on the table. So that show is September 28th in Wayne, New Jersey. If you're close enough to drive to it, definitely go. It's definitely a good time. They do have lots of classes like any show. But reason why I'm building that car, their diorama, which if you haven't seen it yet, is amazing. It's a strip mall, mini mall parking lot, complete with the stores behind it. They did a wonderful job with that, and every year they have a theme for that parking lot diorama. This year it's European cars, so I figured I'll throw my little Porsche Cayman into the mix and see how that looks in their amazing diorama. I'm hoping to get it done actually earlier than that, for the Super September Showdown. That's in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. That's another awesome show. If you're close enough to drive to that, definitely check that out. They are in a new venue, and the first year they were in that venue, they only had one floor and it was a little tight. Last year and now this year, they have 2 floors, one floor for the vendors, and the models are on a separate floor. And I think there are some vendors on one of the floors with the models. I think that's how it was last year. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that show, and I'm hoping to bring the Nova, which that's done, and that's definitely going. And I'm kind of hoping this will be done. It'll be close, but I think I can do it. So yeah, that's about what's been going on with Diablo. I've definitely been watching your videos. Haven't been commenting much. I kind of watch them before work on my phone, while I'm having my coffee before I start work, and it's kind of not fun to type comments on the phone. So that's why I haven't been really commenting. But yes, I am watching. There's a lot of good stuff out there, and yeah, so that's it. So I'm gonna stop the camera, we'll turn it around, and I'll show you what I got so far, and I'll show you some of the pitfalls that I got into with this kit. Alright, right back. Alright, so as you can see, I have the chassis. Well, if we want to call it a rolling chassis, you can. It's not technically because the wheels aren't there, but the chassis is done. and I'll try to zoom you in a little bit, but I did my normal detail work on the bottom of the car. There is quite a number of all-clad metallizers, and on top of it, I've kind of, even though I've had them for a long time, I've been delving into using the Ushi powders in combination with the all-clad, and I gotta tell you, it ends up looking really good, and you kind of get finishes and sheens that you wouldn't normally get with either product by themselves, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, so I kind of went all out on the bottom, even though it's a curbside kit, and very few people will actually see it. There are some shows, I guess, that I will put it just in like a European or tuner class and throw it up on the mirrors so you can see the underneath as well. But most of the time it'll probably be displayed as a curbside. But, you know, if it's got detail work that I could do to the underside, I do it, and I kind of enjoy it, I think, more than the rest of the car. Yeah, so that's what that is. I've even kind of delved into carbon fiber decals using the Scale Motorsport carbon fiber decals. And speaking of that, there is a gentleman on Instagram. He goes by AEREV. And or AE Hobbies. He is probably the king of carbon decals. Every build he does, there's pretty much he ups the ante. He's doing a Nissan, I think G35 now. Oh, I mean, sorry, R35, not G35. That's Infinity. Never mind. R35. And he's pretty much doing full carbon on the entire body, and he's making all the templates from scratch. So when I was building this, I knew I wanted to incorporate some of the carbon fiber decal, especially the Scale Motorsport, which is probably one of the better brands out there for the carbon, and they have a lot of different colors and textures and sizes and stuff. So I kind of reached out to him, and he was nice enough to actually send me a pictured tutorial through Instagram messages that kind of goes through how he makes the templates, and it was just like really awesome, and I'm glad that he was able to help me. That definitely was a big help. So if you're on the Instagram, definitely go check him out, AEREV, and his work is amazing. But anyway, back to this. So I used some of the stuff that he taught me, and I made my own templates, and I made a template for the hood, the winglet, and then the rear wing, and the front splitter, air dam. That also I made my own templates for and carbon fibered the whole thing. That stuff is actually in my dehydrator now. I did the final clear coats on that about an hour ago. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are. I'm hoping next video it'll either be a final on this, or I'll have more of an update on what's going on with this. So this is pretty much what I got, and I wanted to kind of go into a little bit of the pitfalls that I had with this kit. And one of the issues was, this is the body. Here, let me just move this out of the way. 1 second. All right. So there you go, white on white, wonderful. No, I didn't think that out too good, huh? Well, anyway, this is the body that came with the C1 kit, and unfortunately, I can't use it because, one, the detail on the right side of the car, and I'll try to zoom in, it's going to be a little hard, but anyway, the detail on the right side of the car was very, very light, and there's supposed to be like a gas door right here, and that you could barely see before I even primed it, and I tried to scribe it and it wasn't working. And so I said, you know what, I'll just fill it in. This is going to be a one-off custom, and it doesn't have the gas door there. and I was good. And then, as you can see, I did all the body work and I got it pretty nice. And this side, the detail was pretty good and had no issues there. However, on this side, I needed to scribe a little bit, especially this bottom door panel here. And as you can see, now you can see what happened and why I'm not using it. But anyway, I was scribing, and I knew it doesn't scribe like styrene, because it's a lot softer of a material. And I was going real light and being careful. However, I think what I ended up doing, and you can kind of see it there, right where my thumbnail is, right there, right under that splotch of gray primer. I think I may have scribed through an air bubble that was in the door jamb there. And when I did that, it made a hole. And being that it was in the door jamb, in the door panel line, I guess, that I couldn't fix it. There was no way, because then I would have, I mean, I probably could have tried, but I don't think it would look real good. So I opted to go with the regular body and just use all the parts from the C1 kit, which is pretty much what I've done. I did run into a problem with the splitter on the C1 kit, and I had it all complete with the carbon fiber decals, and I went to test fit it because it keys into another piece on the underside of the car, and being that the pins, I mean, it's an exact copy, I guess, of the kit piece, except it was it had bigger lips on the top of it, so it came up higher on the body in the front, and it had the same pins that fit into the holes in the part on the kit piece. However, the pins were made out of resin, and when I test fit it, when I tried to take it out, both pins broke off in the holes. And there's not a lot of material there to drill into to make my own pins, so I had to go with the kit piece on that as well. But everything else, I'm using the wheels, the wings, and some parts of the interior will be the C1 kit. I'm doing the best I can with it, and actually I'm very happy with the way it's coming out. So, you know, I learned my lesson about scribing resin, and I will try not to do that again, because that turned into a disaster. Yeah, so that's where I am now. Like I said, real happy with it, and I'm hoping to get this wrapped up in the next week or two. So I'm gonna put this on pause, and we'll spin the camera around, and we'll wrap this up. Right. So there's where the Cayman is. I still have the caddy in the wings. I have a lot of good ideas for it, and I'm looking forward to getting back to work on that kind of on a full-time basis once this is complete. Yeah, it's definitely, I definitely have some good ideas, and hopefully I'll get some progress on that as well after this is done. So that's where I am. I'm going to try to do updates a little more often now. I've been a little lax through the summer, and so we'll see if I get that back on track. Alright guys, so I think that's it. Oh, one thing. If anybody that doesn't have a Diablo's Workshop card, I have a brand new fresh set of them. I'll put my email address at the bottom of the video, and if you want one, email me, and I will definitely get one out to you. Alright, I think that's it. Enjoy the rest of what's left of the weekend, and remember, the devil is in the details.